Hi there. Surprise! I'm not wearing any makeup. My hair is up. So I had some time, so I thought I'd start my first makeup tutorial. And what it's going to be about is a retro-inspired, more traditional vintage of the late 40s, but in no time at all. Like, if you don't have any time in the morning, this is actually a really nice and sophisticated look that you can do on time crunch, not a time budget, time crunch. So all I've done so far to my face is that I've cleaned it. I actually use old school cold cream by Pond's that they used to use back in the day. So I did that, and I toned it afterwards with the Neutrogena alcohol-free toner. And I moisturized it with the Mario Buttermilk Moisturizer. So that's all I've done. I have nothing on my face. I have my nice acne scars, which will hopefully go away when we're done doing this. So what I start off with in the morning is, this is actually from Victoria's Secret. I got it free with a bra purchase last Christmas, but it's basically any silicone base primer. So you can use the Professional by Benefit, or anything that has, or Photo Finish by Smashbox. It's the same thing. I have my big mirror here because I don't have a mirror. And I just, I use it all over my face. Originally, when I had more acne-prone skin, I tended to shy away from any silicone base. So if you have more oily skin, I would try using more of a water base. But this is what I use, and I do this real quick. And with me, I use my hands when it comes to doing makeup. I did makeup for Benefit for a couple years, Benefit Cosmetics, and I find personally that using my hands instead of brushes gets in my skin and my pores better. It warms up the product. So as long as your hands are clean, if you like using your hands, a lot of professionals use their hands. So I did the primer, and now I'm going to use, what I use is Makeup Forever's Matte Velvet, because I tend to be oily, and a Retro Face is a matte face. Matte and powder was really big back then, so the matter the better. Also, believe it or not, they used to use a lighter skin color for their foundation than they were. So this is actually lighter. This is my Snow White makeup when I perform as Snow White. So I'm gonna put a little bit, if I can get it out, a little bit on my hand, just that much, and I rub it together like this. And now I put it on my face like moisturizer. And as you can tell, this is lighter than I am. So I put this all over my face with my hands. I do it under my eyes. That probably was a great face. And over my eye. I'm extremely pale, naturally. Clearly, you can tell. I mean, I'm not that much different than the door behind me. So I have really dark veins on my eyes here that if I do put foundation on, I put it there because it evens out my skin tone. I have very uneven skin tone because I had acne. I still have acne, but I had really bad acne as a teenager. And you can tell, look, the scars are pretty much gone. Makeup Forever is very pigmented. So like I said, only use that much. So on to the next thing. Next is concealer. And obviously I'm taking longer than I normally do. Once you get your routine down, this should only take about 10 minutes tops. So I'm just breaking it down. Oh, I have extra. I'm just breaking it down slower so you guys can see. And I don't have any cool video equipment or anything to make it go fast. I wish I did, but I don't, so bear with me. So what I'm going to do next is, again, I'm super pale, and I have naturally darker circles under my eyes. So what I use is a concealer kit by Bobbi Brown. What Bobbi Brown does is that they have a base that color corrects, and then they have a concealer. So my color correction is called Light Bisque, and it's pinky color like this. And I just put a tiny bit on my hand, and I rub that in. See, it's almost, you can just use a corrector, to be honest with you, as your concealer, but I use both when I go full out retro, just because it's my personal preference. But because I'm aging and I have eye cream on my eyes and I have a tendency to be an oily T-zone, concealer sometimes goes in all the little crevices. So I try to use as less as I can. Today I'm not, though. Part of my routine for this is not. So this is the warm ivory. This is the concealer part. And this is super creamy. And some people love that. If you have dry skin, you're going to love that. I personally don't use it as much just because it will go into every line I have on my face. And I'm sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the camera more. But so here's a technique that's really neat to know. A lot of the times celebrities and whatnot put a highlighter down here across your cheekbone and all the way up to here. I'm going to show you a technique you can do that. It's not as extreme as it can be, but it does help with it brings out your cheekbones and it gives you more of a highlight. So I use YSL Touche Eclat, which is it's a highlighter, so it's not really a concealer. You can use it as concealer, but it has light reflecting properties. So what I do is you click this little button here and it comes with this brush. And what I do is I draw it down here, under my eyes, and all the way up, kind of like you're painting yourself. And what that does is it gives a highlight, and it just brings out your cheekbone a little bit more. Do it to the other side. So draw down your nose, brimming your nose, under and up. Now, I have to say, for anyone that has a darker skin complexion, Touche Eclat doesn't have a lot of colors. That's only the problem. But if you get any sort of highlighter, Bobbi Brown has a unique color range. Anything lighter, you can even use your concealer and just go down here, underneath, and up. Now for the powder part, using setting powder. Setting powder is your friend, especially for retro, because most of the time they didn't have a lot of liquid makeup back then, so they used a lot of powder. So again, the madder, the better. So I use Laura Mercier's with the puff. And this is the translucent. Now she does have color, but I use translucent because I'm not trying to add any more color to my face. You just get a little bit in your puff and you push down. All over. So that gets the matte effect that the retro needs. Oh my goodness, it's already at 9 minutes and I only have 15. Let's do this. Okay, so next, what you want to use, this is called Perfect 10 by Benefit. The nice thing about it is it's a highlighter and a bronzer all in one. And all you need to do is use your brush and sweep it. So you go down into there, brush it, so it's got that. You take it and you bronze it. Look at that streak. Oh. So you do it on your brow bone and under your cheekbone. Look at that. Isn't that scary looking when you first do it? Super scary, right? Yeah. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to take an angle brush and you're going to brush and blend that out. Now, I have a heart-shaped face, but I've gained weight, so my face has gotten a little rounder down here. So this really helps with giving more of a sunken-in look. Then I'm going to take a natural bristle brush and a blush from Bobbi Brown called Desert Pink. And what you're going to do that retro look is you're going to put that on the apples of your cheeks and brush upwards. Or downwards. Then what you're going to use is, I have this Avon Compact, but anything that has a neutral brown in it and a light color like that is the best thing to do. So what you want to do is you want to take a brush and you want to go all over your lid with the light color. So you can barely see it. Then, what sometimes I take, you can, you can't. If you want to do more of a traditional retro, you don't have to do this. But I tend to. I take the medium color, and I just put a little bit on my lid. Just a little bit. And then the contour. Now this is what makes it retro. It was all about the bare eyes, but with a contour. So what you want to do is you want to take a blending brush like this, put it in a matte chocolate color, coffee chocolate color. You want to stick it on your eye like this, where your eyeball meets your brow bone, and you want to go back and forth. You don't want it to be dark. You want it to be as light as you can. We're doing this because it's supposed to be like a shadow. So think of it as, you know, in the old movies, the black and white, it was all about angles and shadows. So once you get that, you want to take the brush that you used for the light color. Don't put any product on it. I just went to do that. Don't put any product on it. And you blend it. You blend out so it's more nuded. It's not all in your face. It's very natural. I tend to put a little bit more on just because I like a little bit more, but so there's that. And now this is a really awesome product. This is called Highbrow by Benefit. And what it does is you draw on the arch of your brow. Oh, not on your brow. The arch on your brow. And you blend it. I blend it with my finger. You blend it out. And it instantly gives you a higher eyebrow, that shimmer shadow. Now, the eyebrows. The eyebrows are super important because when in the 40s, what it was all about the red lip, the nuded eyes, and the natural full brows. Because in the 30s, it was all about the thinner blackened brow. But in the 40s, they grew it out. So what I do is I take my normal dark matted coffee chocolate color. If you're a blonde. If you have black hair, do black. If you have, or a really dark brown. If you're a redhead, I recommend more of a coppery brown. But I'm a blonde, so I like to do the darker brow for the blondes. So what I do is I take an angled brush. You can get these anywhere. These are actually for eyebrows because they have the bristles at the end of it. You take it in there. I'm going to do it with this. And you fill in your brow. And all you want is a natural arch. You can make your eyebrows fuller if you wish. Right now, mine just got waxed, so they're thinner than I wanted. And what you can also do, they didn't use actually a lot of brown liner. They sometimes used coat liner, but it was actually all about the brown liner. Brown liquid liner, brown pencil liner. I tend to use brown or black. I'm going to use black right now because I'm wearing black. And what you want to do, this is actually Bad Gal liner by Benefit. I have a lot of Benefit stuff left over from working there. But their products are great. And what you want to do is you just want to line where your lashes are. No wing. Just line them so they look like they're bigger. The wing idea, the really great wing that everyone wears, and I wear it a lot, don't get me wrong, I love the wing. But if you want more of a traditional 40s look, You want to use a brown liner, and if you want to wing it, it needs to be super thin. So, because they really didn't do that. That was more actually introduced into the late 50s, early 60s. The thicker wing was definitely 60s. 50s was still a thinner, like more of an eyelash. And then mascara. Curl them first. I always make funny faces. And I use Maybelline False Lashes Volume Express. This is the most amazing mascara I've ever seen. It's curls. Should probably use my mirror for this. I mean, look at that. You can't even see my lashes beforehand. I know this is over 15 minutes. I do apologize. And do some on the bottom. Now I have literally no eyelashes, so there is the eyes. More of a traditional eye. It's very nude with black and the natural eyebrows, the light blush, and this is the cake. This is the big time. The red lipstick. Now, I have Wooby Woo by MAC. I also love to use Russian Red, but I'm going to do Wooby Woo today. And what I recommend, a lot of people like liners. I like putting the lipstick on and then using a brush to help with the angles. So what you want to do is you want to do one big stroke on the bottom and then two at the top. I should probably do this in the mirror. Now, with the 40s and the 50s, it was all about the bigger lip. I have like Cupid lips. I have a larger lip on the bottom and a bigger one on the top. So I like to make my lip a little bigger at the top. See the difference? So what I do is I take it from my little Cupid's bow. And instead of going down, I go out. Just over my natural lip. So, that's a very 40s and 50s color, isn't it? So what you want to do afterwards is take a little brush, if you have anything. Now, I actually did this okay, so I may not need to. But if you have anything that looks rough, smooth it out. Don't put any lipstick on it. Just use it dry. So there you go. And take out my hair. Try not to ruin it too much. And there you go. This is more of a traditional 1940s look. Definitely just all about the lips. And very, very natural nuded eyes. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. This is my first one, so I'm sure it'll get better. If you have any questions, or if you want to see 1930s next or 1950s, maybe if you have a problem with the cat eye wing, I'm more than happy to do that. So let me know in the comments and the messages, and I hope all of you have a great day.